the federal government's reaction was to federalize part of the California National Guard and to bring in some U.S. Marines to help with enforcement of the law in Los Angeles. The state is suing the Trump administration on the grounds that the administration had no right to federalize the California National Guard without asking the governor, who is nominally the head of the California National Guard, to use troops. And of course, the state's position in California has been no help was necessary. The protests were created by ICE being too aggressive, and the protests could be handled by the officials in Los Angeles. The problem with all of that is there's a law that goes back to the 1870s called the Posse Comitatus Act, which says that federal military personnel are not to be engaged in law enforcement. And the question in this case is whether the troops that have been stationed in Los Angeles have or have not crossed that line between what is allowable and what is not allowable, which is engaging in law enforcement the way police do. So are they acting as military, or are they acting as police? They can't act as police. They can only act within their bounds.
Is this what we're going to see? You know, anytime you have the Marines, anytime you have the National Guard, there's a potential for the use of lethal weapons, and that can be the case.
The administration is also saying that the National Guard, who has been federalized, and the U.S. Marines are not engaged in law enforcement directly, but instead they are protecting federal assets. Federal assets meaning federal property, like federal buildings in Los Angeles, but also federal personnel. If Judge Breyer were to find that the federal government substantially crossed those lines, I think we can be quite sure that the federal government will appeal that to the Ninth Circuit and then, if necessary, go to the U.S. Supreme Court.